Hi guys, welcome to Introduction to Logistics. Today we're going to go through all the vocabulary that we were using during this course. If you see this image, we're going to discuss all of the logistics process. Most of us think on logistics like only getting merchandise into the truck, but it's way more into that. If you see in this image, we have people taking orders and discussing whether they're going to do air freight or truck freight or they're going to use ocean freight. So let's dive in. So the first one is going to be storage. It is the activity of keeping or storing products at the warehouses and logistics centers. Its role is to provide a steady supply of goods to the market to fill the temporal gap between producers and consumers. We know that making something takes a lot of time. That's why we do a stock and we storage this stock into the warehouses. Then we have the supply chain. This is something that we're going to hear a lot into our careers. A supply chain is a focus on the core activities within our organization required to convert raw materials or component parts to finished goods or services. We look upstream to our suppliers and their supply of raw materials or our component into our own business or supply chain. So we have here this flow. We have the raw materials, we have the supplier, and then we have the manufacturing side that is going to transform these materials, and then we're going to get into the distribution. And once we decide whether we're going to do wholesales or we're going to have distributors, we're going to have retails, then we have here the retail and then the final client. This is going to be all of our course actually, but we're going to dive in the next 4 months. So let's go to the next one. We have here client. We are all clients. A client is somebody that buys goods for or paid for services. Companies and other organizations might also be clients. We already know terms such business to clients, business to business, and many others. This is something that we're going to discuss during this course, but this is something really important for us to understand. What is a client? And then we have effectiveness, where we discuss the difference between effectiveness in our last course, strategic planning. But let's discuss it again. It is the aim of effective logistics management to improve the efficiency of the operation, ensuring customer satisfaction and increase productivity. And then we have distribution. This is something that we might think when we talk about logistics, and it's also known as sales logistics. Deals with the planning, realization, and control of the movement of goods. Not only it is moving around the merchandise, it has to do with many other aspects. Then we have efficiency. Efficiency can be defined as the ability to achieve an end goal with little or no waste, effort, or energy. Being efficient means that you can achieve your results by putting the resources you have in the best way possible. In simple words, we can say that something is efficient if nothing is wasted and all the processes are optimized. This includes the use of money, human capital, production equipment, and energy sources. Then we have stock. This is something very different from storing. Stock is the physical disposition of merchandise within a warehouse. This is the quantity of things that we have available to sell or to use in case we're going to manufacture something. But this is the quantity. How many products do we have on stock? We're going to discuss what is inventory and many other words but we have to find that every word is different and refers to something different as well. Intermodal, it is the free exchange of equipment between modes of transportation. We already know that we have many options to transport our merchandise. It can be by land, it can be by the railroad, it could be by ocean, air, even pipelines. It will depend on the merchandise we are going to be negotiating with our client, and they can be mixed. We have to decide which is going to be the more cost-effective option for us and our client, and as well the necessities that our client has. Then we have inventory. Remember that we were discussing that it is different from stock? Inventory is the accumulation of raw materials, supplies, components, work in process, and finished goods appearing at numerous points along the supply channel, production, and logistics of a company. This is keeping accountability of all the products that we need to produce something, and as well the final goods. We're going to discuss all of these words during this course, but inventory is really important, and you may already know what inventory is, but you have to keep this in mind. Logistics, finally. Logistics is all the movement and storage that facilitate the flow of products from the point of purchase of the materials to the point of consumption, as well as the flow of information that is put in place in order to give the consumer the level or adequate reasonable cost. Reverse logistics. So this is a moving of merchandise or finished goods from the final consumer to the point of where the process begins. Many companies do this, many companies doesn't because it is expensive, but we're going to discuss it along this course. I hope you enjoyed this video. We're going to have more, but this is gonna be it for this, and see you next class. Thank you guys.